Hello and welcome to another edition of Trotsky or Bust. It is, I believe, May 16th, Sunday. I hope all is well. I just want to do a quick video. I've been watching, as I'm sure a lot of you have, the situation in the Middle East and the media coverage of it and all that. And I just want to give you a quick take on it. First and foremost, let's put everything in proportion. Earlier this year in Ethiopia, there were wars, like several hundred people were killed in a matter of days, and it received zero attention. So the Middle East will always receive overblown attention. I just want to explain what is happening there and why. Of course, the media is never going to tell us the truth about it. First and foremost, we have to understand. We always, Biden said he's calling Netanyahu and Abbas. He's going to make peace, peace, peace. And everybody claims to be trying to make peace. That is 100% bullshit. It is not in America's interest to make peace in the Middle East. It's in America's interest to sell as many weapons as we can, which means wars, or at least sporadic wars with cold wars in between, is to our benefit, is to the benefit of the military-industrial complex, which sells and gives, first the politicians, they work for them. They don't work for us. They don't care about us. And that military-industrial complex sells weapons gives weapons to Israel, Jordan, Egypt, now Iraq is a big player, Afghanistan, obviously, Saudi Arabia, all the Gulf states, and others, right? So it is peace in the Middle East is not in our interest. Anybody who tells you that it is lying to you. It's simply not true. It's a lie. It's a lie. The interest is to make as much money for the military-industrial complex as possible. Now, no one talks about that. Even Bernie. Bernie's not against giving military aid to Israel. He's never opposed that. It's just a bullshit thing. He'll criticize Israel because that's the whole idea, is to criticize Israel, and then instead of putting the emphasis on, if we were interested of making peace, the way to make peace in the Middle East is you have to democratize the Arab world. That is what we need to do. Now, there was an Arab Spring about 10 years ago, and it went nowhere, and I'm sure we made sure it went nowhere. And now the criticism of Israel is to not criticize Hamas. What if Hamas wasn't there? Do you think the people in Gaza like Hamas? No, of course not. They probably hate Hamas more than they hate Israel. Okay? But the idea is to criticize Israel, so to take the pressure off Hamas. Even I was watching Ali Velshi, that idiot, and he was, Arabs in Israel are third class, not even second or third. He didn't explain it, but who needs explanations? And of course, he got to apartheid, and he goes, yeah, Israel's apartheid. And do these idiots even know what the word means? Do they really know what it means? Apartheid? And do they care? No. In Lebanon, you have about 20 professions that Palestinians are not allowed to engage in. Nobody calls Lebanon an apartheid country, even though it is. Iran, Jews are second-class citizens. No one even talks about Iran. And I think Ali Velshi is, I'm not sure if he's from Iran or I don't know where, but Jews don't have the same rights as Muslims, and throughout the Arab world, throughout the Muslim world, non-Muslims don't have the same rights. But no, Israel's apartheid. Israel's apartheid. Why? Because they know that Israel's always going to receive its support. So you have to balance it and say, oh no, Israel's wrong. Israel's a bad country. We need to also help Egypt and Jordan and Saudi Arabia. And that's how we make peace, by selling everybody weapons. No. Weapons in the Middle East is like money in politics in America. If you don't get rid of money in politics, it's never going to solve the problem. If you don't get rid of weapons in the Middle East, it's not going to solve the problem. All right? And we're never going to do that. It's not in our interest to do that. It's not in the military-industrial complex interest to do that. So it's never going to happen. And it's sad that I see so many people on the left. Some are, I'm sure, well-meaning. Others are not. Like, I'm not even talking about the Jimmy Dores or the Hill or TYT. Their job is to undermine the left, obviously. But even I see well-meaning people, and they're, I don't know if they're all interranged. It's the derangement syndrome. Is some of it anti-Semitism? Yes. Some of it is just, being led, being not thinking for yourself. I mean, tell people being a leftist first and foremost means you can't think for yourself. All right, and things are not the way they seem. Don't let others divide and conquer. That's the whole idea. That's why they're enraging us. And it's funny that Israel took down that building. Oh my God, the freedom of the press. Oh, they're gonna hurt our coverage of Gaza. Why? You can have a phone. Okay, honesty. You want to help coverage in Gaza? Give honesty. Criticize Hamas. They don't do that. I mean, they do. They check a box every now and then, but do they really tell the truth? No, no. Do they say how much Hamas limits what they are allowed to say? No. They protected Hamas. They said, oh, there was no Hamas in the building. Israel would not have taken out the building if there wasn't Hamas there. They would not have got. I mean, look how much scrutiny they got, anger they got, as is. Imagine if it truly was that there was no Hamas in the building. And the AP, that's really terrible journalism that they're so gutless that they won't say it. And I know in their corners they're probably thinking, well, if we say it, then we'll have zero. Hamas won't let us into Gaza at all. But really, you're going to sacrifice the truth for that? Really? That's journalism? Well, it's not. Journalism has been dead a long time, long before this. And please, if you're on the left, just think. Think. Since when are you believe the same people you don't believe on other issues? You believe the press? You believe the fake far left? Come on, stop it. All right? Think for yourself. Think for yourself. And yeah, that's the only solution. Now, the problem, of course, with the military industrial complex is it's so ingrained into America, and you can't just get rid of them. Get rid of it. So many people would just lose their jobs. I don't know what to do. I think the best solution is to take the two things. One is to switch them from defense to space exploration. Why do we do that? That's high tech. If we can't, obviously we're not going to let all these people lose their jobs. So do that. And the other thing is, instead of having what's the public? I don't know if it's called publicizing or you have privatization, publicization, meaning stop using these private firms that are going to donate money to these corrupt politicians. All right, these politicians are not on our side. I saw this week on HBO. I know I'm no fan of HBO, but they did have it's Crime of the Century. It tells how the pharmaceutical companies took over, they showed the politician Marsha Blackburn, but same with the Democrats. They were no Obama signed it. Come on, they didn't give a shit about the people. They didn't care. People were turning into drug addicts. These people are criminals. Are criminals. That's it. That's my rage for today. Tell me what you think. Give me a thumbs up, thumbs down. Click, get subscribed. Click that fist, the Japanese flag, whatever in it, and click the bell as well. This way you get notified. If you want, maybe you don't want. Maybe you think I suck. I don't know. Maybe I do suck. All right. Thank you, and Trotsky's out.